Ladies and gentlemen, the globalists are making their move on the open borders, the gun control, the eugenicists, government health care, the cap and trade, new wars, their spy grids. They are rushing it all through because they know revolution is here. The people are waking up. So make sure that you realize we're at a historic crossroads. We're going back to your calls. Let Chris finish up what was happening at Walter Reed, the military's biggest hospital, according to what I know. But we can ask him. The issue is, that's another thing. I get emails every day going, you liar. There's no plan to forcibly inoculate. There's no plan to make people take shots. And I'm reading what the World Health Organization says. I'm reading what the Pentagon's saying. I'm reading what Northcom's saying. This is even on TV. But then people go, well, they won't say if I've got to take shots or not. All the nurses and doctors I know have been told, you got to take it. There's no law. They're just saying you have to take it. There's an executive order and then a UN law, a UN treaty. And so, yes, they are attempting, just like with a smallpox shot 6 years ago, to order all these first responders to take it. 14 million of them roughly in the U.S. Nurses, doctors, county workers, federal workers, police, sheriff's deputies, firemen, key infrastructure folks. They're even trying to tell bank people they got to take it. And is this just a boondoggle to sell tens of billions of a worthless vaccine? Or is it something worse? But go ahead and make your point about the vaccine, sir. You've been told you've got to take it.
Yes. Basically what happened was I work with the union, and we had a big fight with the commander and higher authority, whoever that may be, that they were trying to inoculate us, saying anybody who comes in contact with these injured soldiers or the really sick need to take these inoculations. And I came up with the point, why the heck should I be taking an inoculation, or why should I take an inoculation for something? If these people are so sick, what the heck are they doing out of their hospital rooms in the first place? And it's to end the story real quick, we won, and they didn't force it, but I'm afraid now with this swine flu thing coming out that they're going to come at us again.
But see, that's my point. They tell you it's the law, you've got to do it. When there's no law, you say no, you don't have to. Webster,
let me just comment on that, Alex. The big problem with Walter Reed Army Hospital that overarches all of this is it's being shut down. The side of the healthcare debate that gets, I think, left out is where are the doctors supposed to come from and where are the hospitals that you're going to need, because you do need them. Walter Reed is being shut down. Now, if you go by Bethesda on the Naval Center side, they're building something there that they claim is going to replace Walter Reed, but I am skeptical. I see all of this as a project of cutting. Here in Washington, D.C., we've lost 2 or 3 hospitals over the last 10 years or so, and it's getting to be a real drama. Where's the nearest hospital?
And you and others have pointed out that that's what this banker system is. Nothing for the people, everything paid as interest on imaginary fiat black hole of debt they create to swallow up the world. And I want to make the point. Conyers says he can't read the multi-thousand-page bill and that it's bad to read the bill now. They've gone from lying and saying they read them to saying it's bad to read them. If they can't read a bill, but then they tell us we're liars about what's in it when I have scanned it and I have it here, then how can they administer government health care? If Obama, 7 months ago, first thing he did in office, and he said this on TV, was they were going to make vets pay for their own insurance and health care. I mean, that shows who they are. If the troops don't get health care and they're making them pay for their lunches at Ramstein in Germany when their legs are blown off, these aren't old men. If they're breaking the contracts with the troops, folks, none of you are getting anything. You're getting an aspirin. You're getting euthanized. This is what the White House science czar says. Now they're getting Rahm Emanuel's brother. In fact, put that Salon article up for folks in the White House who openly calls for killing the old. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, people. If they can't read the bill, they're not going to be able to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Alex, let me just add, in terms of Congressman Conyers, if you go to the Black Agenda report, the fine website of Glenn Ford, they have quotes from Conyers there where he says, I am very disappointed with Obama. Obama's health care plan is junk. Now, I wonder if they're going to accuse Conyers of being a racist because he criticizes Obama.
Yeah, we had that up on Infowars.com right now. But what Conyers is saying, he wants the power of the Democratic Party to stay there. Obama is for the globalist, so he knows he's going to discredit his own system. That's his job, is to carry the ball down the field. Conyers is more of just a punk politico. And yeah, Conyers says, we're going to play the clip coming up. Conyers says that he's going to destroy us and that we're all going to get thrown out. So, I mean, Conyers is doing that from a slimy perspective, Webster.
Let me just add, the other thing here is, what is actually going on? Now, I'm afraid people say Obama wants to have the government take over health care. I don't think that's the goal at all. What I see is that Obama is in bed with the insurance companies. He had 25 insurance executives.
No, this gives them liability protection. It gets pushed over to the government.
Right. It gives them a bailout, above all. We should never forget, most of these insurance companies are bankrupt because of derivative speculation. AIG was what? An insurance company. It's bankrupt 1 million times
because
over.
it set up a hedge fund in England. Exactly, Webster.
The Hartford got $3.5 billion off the bailout. They're bankrupt. MetLife just reported $1.5 billion losses from derivatives in the second quarter. The Obama plan is this. Talk about single payer. Well, not even talk about it. Talk about a government option. But when push comes to shove, you give up the government option, but you keep the individual mandate. The individual mandate means you are coerced to buy insurance from a for-profit private insurance company that's deregulated, that's got, rapacious executives. You can't sue them, and your life depends on it. And let me just tell you, the scenario was in the Washington Post here last Friday. We have a guy called Henry Aaron of the Brookings Institution. This is the left-wing, the sort of Democratic Party think tank. He says, my advice to Obama is this. Put up a bold front of wanting a public option, and at the end of the day, say, Senator Grassley, Senator Enzi, in the name of unity and Republican support, I will give up the public option if you climb on board.
Which is really the corporate fascist bailout that Republicans want, and then the Republican horde will feel like they've won, and then the Democrats will all suck their thumbs pathetically.
Exactly, and that is the fascist corporate state. In other words, what that talks about then is a government-sponsored compulsory cartel for the benefit of the private companies to drive down care, to cut your life short, but to prop up the derivatives debt of these private insurance companies.
And
That's the scenario.
By the way, they're saying that. So what happens is everybody gets cruddy health care basically now, and the insurance companies just stop providing it and no longer have liability, because in this bill, if they're involved in any way with the government program, they're now given liability protection, the worst possible thing we could imagine. And so now health care even goes to hell faster. In fact, deaths from avoidable medical error more than doubled in the past decade, investigations show. This is out of the Scientific American. Just cutting off the wrong legs, leaving knives and scalpels inside people. Just hellish. 400,000+ dying a year from bad drug interactions. All of that, just like vaccine makers, now all of big pharma, now all of big medicine, now taken over by the hedge funds, as you said, Webster, is now can just walk away. And as we said off air, we're no longer an industrial nation. We're falling apart. We can't support the high-tech system we built, and so now it just all goes down the drain. And the elites jet off to Switzerland for health care.
Right, the clinic in Zurich. Here's the other thing. Medicare will be looted and destroyed. So what Johnson was able to put in place at the end of the New Deal will be destroyed by Obama. So really, the fight against Obama is a fight to defend the existing New Deal institutions, which are vital for the survival of old people. The other thing is, Obama's made a deal with Big Pharma. Let's not forget them, the pharmaceutical companies. And he says, I guarantee you that there will be no cheap prescriptions coming from Canada, and I guarantee you that we will not haggle. We will not use the buying power of Medicare to get the prices down on the prescriptions that people need to buy.
And that guaranteed is cold-bloodedly going to kill millions of people over the next decade.
Absolutely.
Who are surviving on those cheap drugs that in many cases are 1/3 or less the price, because Americans pay the most because we're known as the schmucks.